So I figure someday in school, I missed a day of school. And it was the day they handed out the Girl Guide. Now, I was there the day that the nurse came and took the girls into the library and showed us the film strip about having our period and gave us little pink boxes to take home. I got that part. But the day I missed was the day that they talked about makeup and hair and accessories. Now, I had a mother, I had 2 older sisters, but for some reason, these just were not topics in our household. And to make matters even worse, my main high school activity was being the only girl on the high school debate team. Not an environment where makeup and clothes were really discussed very often. So I went to work, and every day I would see these women that in almost every way I would consider to be my inferiors come in with beautifully styled hair, expertly applied makeup, in these like put together outfits. And I didn't understand, how did they do this? How did this happen? I realized that I was flying under the beauty radar, and that if I didn't call attention to myself, I would be fine. I wasn't going to risk anybody actually noticing me. So a few years ago, I got together with 2 of my dear high school friends. We were in our 50s and hadn't seen each other for several years. And we sat talking about our careers and our families, and we decided we needed to have a photograph to commemorate this reunion. So my friend Carrie said, oh, well, I need to fix my lipstick. And out of her purse, she pulls all of these things, like these tubes and brushes and pots and all the stuff that I think in my bag I might have had like a 10-year-old chapstick. So I was clearly out of my league here. But my friends were troopers. They said, Chris, we can help you. So I was a little apprehensive. This was going to be a big step for me. But the next day, they took me to the world of Sephora. So walking into the store was like stepping onto an alien planet, right? So there were the lights and the music and all of these clerks and more beauty supplies than I even know existed in the world. So I was entrusted to the care of Rachel. And Rachel had this kind of flat pancake makeup and bright red lips and what I later learned were smoky eyes. And she was like, okay, Chris, we can help you, and sits me down in front of a mirror. And then I came literally face to face with my biggest fear, that putting on makeup meant I would actually have to look at myself in the mirror. And not only that, I would have to look at Rachel looking at me, looking at myself in the mirror. This was a little bit more attention than I was used to getting. But I took a deep breath, and we went through a few basic things, and I thought, okay, I have had enough. I'm ready to go. But my friend said, oh no, we need lipstick. So we called in Chad, the token gay guy clerk at Sephora, for his advice and support. And I stood there while 4 people looked at me and discussed my lips. And I could feel my grip on reality just slowly fading away. And once the tears started, there was no way they were going to stop. I stood there in the lipstick aisle of Sephora, and 40 years of fears, anxieties, and insecurities came pouring out. Chad and Rachel quickly found other things to do. My friends comforted me, consoled me, and said, Chris, it'll be okay. We made a purchase. I made our purchases and left, and I'm sure Sephora was very happy to see me walk out the door. So I thought, what am I going to do? And it really took me like a few months to recover from this experience. And I decided, though, that, makeup maybe was something I wanted to try. I'd been working on kind of thinking more about myself, and had come to understand that wanting attention and being seen was not necessarily bad. And while I was feeling better on the inside, I still needed to work on the outside. So on a quiet afternoon during the middle of the week, I went to a department store and found this nice lady who gave me a few sort of basic tips and instructions, and I thought, okay, maybe I can do this. Maybe I can actually risk that people are going to look at me. And I went home and practiced a little and felt pretty confident about it. And so over time, I thought, is this really that shallow and simple, that like wearing makeup is something that's going to make me feel better? And I think that it wasn't so much what it made me look like on the outside that made me feel better. I mean, clearly, it's not like I wear a lot of makeup. But it was more that that I was willing to take the chance that people were going to actually pay attention to me, that people were going to look at me, that I would get attention. And so now I'm standing in front of, I don't know, maybe a couple hundred people who are all very silently critiquing my hair and makeup, my lack of accessories, and I'm not even close to crying. But I'm also not wearing any lipstick.